कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव। कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी वल्लभ गिरिवर्धन जय गोपी वल्लभ गिरिवर्धन। यशोदानंदन भज यशोदानंदन यमुना यमुना तीरावती जय राम माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा रति हरि राधा रति हरि राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय गौरंगाय 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 जय गौरंगाय जय यशोदा दामोदर यशोदा दामोदर जय नरसिंह जय नरसिंह जय नरसिंह जय नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय सद्गोस्वामी जय सद्गोस्वामी जय सद्गोस्वामी जय सद्गोस्वामी गुरु परंपरा जय गुरु परंपरा जय गुरु परंपरा जय गुरु परंपरा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। जय ओम श्रीपाद परम आचार्य स्त्रोत्र श्रीमद भक्ति स्वरूप दामोदर श्रीपाद गुरु महाराज की जय। जय ओम श्रीपाद परम आचार्य स्त्रोत्र श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री गुरुपाद की जय। जय ओम श्रीपाद परम आचार्य स्त्रोत्र श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्री गुरुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से गौर श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड कीर्तन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री मथुरा धाम की श्री द्वारका धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गौरमंडल नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। गंगा मई यमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। स्वामी भक्तवंद की जय। हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Guru and Gauranga, Guru Shri Prabhupada, Shri Guru Shri Prabhupada, Bhagwan Dev Hari Bol. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। निगमकल्पतरो गलितं फलं सुखमुखामृतद्रव्यसंयुतम् पिबत भागवतं रसमालयम् ऊरो रसिका भुवि भावुकः ऊरो रसिका भुवि भावुकः ऊरो रसिका भुवि भावुकः. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter number 1, verse number 45 to 48. Verse number 45. Yesha tavanujaala कृपणा पुत्रिकोपमा अन्तं नार्हस्यानिम् इमां त्वं दीनवत्सलः एषा तवानुजा बाला कृपणा पुत्रिकोपमा अन्तं नार्हसि कल्याणीम् इमां त्वं दीनवत्सलः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Word to word meaning. Yesha, this, Tava, your, Anuja, younger sister, Bala, innocent woman, Kripana, completely dependent on you, Putrika, Upama, exactly like your own daughter, Hantum, to kill her, Na, not, Rasi, you deserve, Kalyanim, who's under your affection, Imam, her, Tvam, you, Dinavatsala, very compassionate to the poor and innocent. Translation. As your younger sister, this poor girl Devaki is like your own daughter and deserves to be affectionately maintained. You are merciful and therefore you should not kill her. Indeed, she deserves your affection. ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिस्वरूपदामोदरस्वामिनि नामिने नमः. मणिपूर्वै च प्रभुपादलसद्वानि प्रचारन्भूताय नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. On behalf of Bhaktivedanta Institute, I welcome you all once again to this ongoing discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. And today we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, and verses 45 to 48. So we have been hearing about this, trying to kill the sister, Devaki, when he comes to know that, can I request all the devotees to be on mute? Thank you. So he goes to kill Mother Devaki. Okay. So he's trying to put some sense into his head that why he should not kill. Okay. So we have been hearing this uh, instruction, not instructions, advice basically by Vasudev to Kamsa. And this is the continuation of that one. So here he says, as your younger sister, this poor girl Devaki is like your own daughter and deserves to be affectionately maintained. So the women, the girl child has to be always protected. She has to be given protection. Brahmanas, the children, and the women are to be protected. So in this case, it's not only just a woman or a girl. Mother Devaki is also a sister of Kamsa. So he is trying to say, Vasudev, that she is your younger sister, and in that capacity, she becomes like your daughter self. So who would go and kill his own daughter? Moreover, is trying to glorify him. You are very merciful, therefore you should not kill her. Okay, rather she deserves more of your affection. Actually, till we heard that Akashvani, Kamsa was very much affectionate towards Mother Devaki. That's the reason he took charge of riding the chariot itself. And when he hears that Akashavani, complete mindset changes, and he goes to kill the Devaki. So when Vasudev tries to say that why are you so much scared of death? Death is for sure it is going to come. The intelligent men will not be afraid of death. One day we are going to die. We are all going to die. The moment one is born, death is also born. So like this, he gives some, kind of sense into trying to put some sense into his head. Now a question arises for us. So when Vasudev is so much advising Kamsa against killing his own sister, why he should not kill? Because death is inevitable, imminent. Then the question arises, why he is worried about Mother Devaki being killed? This question is a logical question to say. So death is going to come to Kamsa, death is going to come to Devaki also anytime. It's going to come to Vasudeva also. So logically speaking, when you are advising, why you are not following? That kind of question arises in our mind. So what? Devaki dies. But there is another aspect to it, perception to it, that the woman has to be protected. So that is a dharma. So Vasudev is trying to do that. Once the woman is married, then it becomes the responsibility of the husband to protect her at any cost. That is one aspect of it. And it is very much revealed by the Akashvani that the eighth son is going to be the cause of your death. Everybody there understands this, and also because of his association with the Rakshasas and him giving trouble to people, people know that some great personality is going to come or going to be born to kill Kamsa. So it becomes even more responsible. I mean, it becomes even more important for Vasudeva to protect Mother Devaki, so that that child who's going to be the cause of the death to or death of Kamsa is protected. She should be protected, and that's the reason it's trying to protect. Now let's see what happens in the next shloka. Shri Sukhovacha evam shasamabirveder bodhyamanopi daruna nanyavad nanyavartata kauravya नान्यवर्तत कौरव्य पुरुषादाननुवृतः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and Second Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Sukha Uvacha, Shri Sukadeva Goswami said, Evam, in this way, Sa He, that is Kamsa, Samavi, by attempts to pacify him, Kamsa, Vedai, by moral instruction that one should not be cruel to anyone else, Bodhyamanaha api, even being pacified, Darunaha, he was the most fiercely cruel, Nanyavatata, could not be stopped from the grievous act. Kauravya or Maharaj Parikshit, Purusha Adan, the Rakshasas, man-eaters, Anuvritaha, following in their footsteps. Translation. Sukadeva Goswami continued, O best of Kuru dynasty, Kamsa was fiercely cruel and was actually a follower of Rakshasas. Therefore, he could be neither pacified nor terrified by the good instructions given by Vasudeva. He did not care about the results of sinful activities, either in this life or in the next. So, this fear of death is the ultimate fear that we all have. So, we will try to do anything and everything to save ourselves from death, because death is inevitable, but at the same time, the truth is we are eternal. Even though death is inevitable, the constitutional position is that we are eternal, apostle of Krishna. So, being eternal, our natural tendency is to avoid death. We cannot accept the concept of death. But unfortunately, death comes, and it did not come for the soul, but it's for the body. But being conditioned, this soul thinks that is the body. And when death arises for the body, it perceives that as a threat for its existence, eternity. So that's the reason that the living entity tries to avoid death. I don't want to die. None of us want to die. So here also Kamsa is exhibiting the same mindset. So he's not bothered about whether the death is coming through my sister. Oh, she's my sister, no problem, let the death come. Sometimes, so the lovers talk to each other like that, okay, I will leave my life on your lap or something like that, But when the actual situation arises, things are going to be different unless one is situated in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness prepares us to face death. That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. So, what is different in Krishna consciousness culture that is not presented in other cultures is that life is a continuum. You are born, you die, and again you are born till you come out of this cycle and death. Okay. So you come out with your own endeavor and the mercy of this devotee, the Supreme Lord. Okay. Otherwise, you continue in the same cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So it is just a phases of your existence in this material world. So all who are born Rupas said in previous shlokas that everyone who is born is sure to die, and everybody who is dying is sure to be born. Of course, to be born as what? That is the question, whether it is to be born as a human being or animal or insect or aquatics, whatever it is. That's all there in your hand. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajattante kalevaram tam tam eva vanteya sada tad bhava bhavatat. Whatever state of mind one is in at the time of death, that state you will attain. Kaunteya. So to be in the right state of mind is the key to the door of next life. And which house you are going to occupy, which key you are going to get, that is decided by your activity in this lifetime. And if that activity is not meant towards or directed towards getting out of this material world, then you'll be born again, reborn in this material world only. So it's very, very important for us to be in that state of mind at the time of leaving the body. We need to prepare ourselves throughout our life. Okay. Otherwise, we'll be scared of death the way Kamsa is scared of death. Okay. So, Krishna consciousness gives us that opportunity for us to face death, not getting scared. Okay. It prepares us for that death, for that day. Okay. Now, the next verse 47. Nirbandham tasya tam jnatva vichintyanakadundubihi praptam kalam prativyodam idam tatranvapadyate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Word to word meaning, nirbandham, determination to do something. Tasya, of him, that is kamsa. Tam, that, determination. Jnatva, understanding. Vishintya, thinking deeply. Anakadundubihi, Vasudeva. Praptam had arrived. Anakadundubi, Vasudeva. Praptam had arrived. Kalam, imminent danger of death. Pritivyodham, to stop him from such activities. Idam, this. Tatra, thereupon. Anvapadyata, thought of other ways. Translation. When Vasudeva saw that Kamsa was determined to kill his sister Devaki, he thought to himself very deeply, considering the imminent danger of death. Very deeply. Considering the imminent danger of death, he thought of another plan to stop Kamsa. Purport: although Vasudeva saw the imminent danger of his wife Devaki would be killed, he was convinced of his welfare because at his birth the demigods had played drums and kettle drums. He therefore attempted another way to save Devaki. So, when Kamsa was determined, in spite of advice by Vasudeva, because of his demoniac nature, his association with the Rakshasas, as mentioned in the previous verse, and out of his fear of death, he proceeds to kill Mother Devaki. Now he is trying different strategies actually. Vasudeva is trying different strategies. How to stop? Somehow I want to stop him from killing her. Somehow I have to convince him not to kill her. So, but he sees that he is not convinced. So now he's trying to find out another way. Okay, and Vasudev is very intelligent person. Okay, it is mentioned here that when he was born, the kettle drums were played. So Sukadeva Goswami is telling that when he was born, the kettle drums and all played, celestial kettle drums. So in that way, he's a great personality who is going to be the cause of bringing the Supreme Personality of Godhead to this earthly planet, along with Mother Devaki. So he uses different strategies to convince Kamsa not to kill his own sister. So what plan he thought of, that we'll see in the next verse. मृत्युर्बुद्धिमता भूयो यावद्बुद्धिबलोदयं यद्यशौ न निवर्तेत नापराधोऽस्ति देहिनः मृत्युर्बुद्धिमता भूयो यावद्बुद्धिबलोदयं यद्यशौ न निवर्तित नापराधोऽस्ति देहिनः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Mrityu, death. Buddhimata, by an intelligent person. Apoyaha, should be avoided. Yavat, as long as. Buddhi bala udayam, intelligent and bodily strength are present. Yadi, if ashav, that is death. Na nivatteta, cannot be checked. Na, not. Aparadaha, offense. Asti, there is. Dehinaha, of the person in danger of death. Translation: as long as he has intelligence and bodily strength, an intelligent person must try to avoid death. This is the duty of every embodied person. But if death cannot be avoided in spite of one's endeavors, a person facing death commits no offense. Purport. It is natural for a person facing untimely death to try his best to save himself. This is, oh, I'm not sharing, is it? Oh God, sorry. It is natural for a person facing untimely death to try his best to save himself. This is one's duty. Although death is sure, everyone should try to avoid it and not meet death without opposition, because every living soul is by nature eternal. Because death is punishment imposed in the condemned life of material existence, the Vedic culture is based on avoiding death. Tyaktva deham punarjanmanaiti. Everyone should try to avoid death and rebirth by cultivating spiritual life and should not submit to death without struggling to survive. One who is not trying to stop death is not an intelligent human being, because Devaki was face to face with imminent death. It was Vasudeva's duty to save her, as he was trying his best to do. He therefore considered another way to approach Kamsa so that Devaki would be saved. Okay. So Prabhupada brings a different perspective. This is a summary of the death topic. The topic of death. Actually, this Devaki, Kamsa, Vasudeva on the chariot, a lot of things are being discussed about death. How one should not be afraid of death, that is mentioned in one thing. Death is inevitable, another thing. And then death is only for the body, as being discussed. The spirit soul is eternal, that is discussed. Okay. So here it's kind of being summarized that when death is there, as I was mentioning, when in the situation of death, we are facing death, most of us try to fight against death because because of our natural tendency to survive. That natural instinct to survive comes from the eternal nature of the spirit soul. So Prabhupada writes, there are two ways of looking at it. All of us should fight against the death. But Prabhupada also said, you should not be disturbed by death. But here he says, you should fight against the death. Okay. The intelligent person, he says, this is one's duty. One is try his best to save himself. This is one's duty. Now, what Prabhupada is trying to say here about saving oneself from death, it comes in further paras. Although death is sure, everyone should try to avoid it and not meet death without opposition. You cannot succumb to death without opposition. That opposition will come because of your inherent nature. Okay. Because every living soul is by nature eternal. This is what. So we are all eternal, right? So that is the reason we should not give up to death so easily. That's a natural tendency. Because death is a punishment imposed in the condemned life of material existence. Okay. Now, how would you fight death? Death is imminent, inevitable, as sure as death. Then how would you fight death? So Prabhupada says, so you can fight death by not coming into this world, by avoiding birth. Okay. त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नयति. जन्म कर्म चमे दिव्यम एवं यो वेत्ति तत्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नयति मामेति सोचना. So after giving this body, okay, giving up this body, one should not come back to this material world. In that way, you will be fighting death, avoiding death. So Prabhupada says everyone should try to avoid death. How? By avoiding rebirth. And how that is possible? That is possible by cultivating spiritual life, cultivating Krishna conscious life. So this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness, as I was mentioning, that the other institutions, cultures do not talk about what happens after liberation. So there is a fear, oh, what will happen after my death? But our culture gives us a very clear knowledge that don't worry, this is a phase in your life. Okay. You're going to be, once you die, you're going to take bath in this material world, or you go back home, back to garden. That's your original home. So not to worry. Why to worry? Okay. For the soul, there is no death, and you are not the body, you are the soul. So for you, no death, don't worry. Okay, what will I go there? We will go and serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his representatives and his devotees, your devotees, in your constitutional position. Okay. So, one who is not trying to stop death is not an intelligent man. Dehino asmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyate. Only the dhiras will not be afraid of death. Because they kind of stop the death or understand that death is only the change of body. Okay. And Adhira to do to stop death. Okay. So one who is not trying to stop death is not intelligent being, is not a dhira, is adhira. Because Devaki was face to face with imminent death, it was Vasudeva's duty to save her. So being a woman, she is unable to save herself. The psychophysical nature of women is such that they are, compared to men, they're created like that. The creation is like that. So they have to be given protection as per our Vedic culture. So Vasudeva is trying to do this job of protecting women who's in the form of his wife. Okay. And he was trying his best to do so. And how to do that, he's trying to contemplate, and a plan after plan is try and stop Vasudeva. So This is how the story is going. So you know, think about this Kamsa riding the chariot, Vasudeva and Devaki, Mother Devaki, the chariot, the discussion going on. Philosophy is there, but it's like a very nice devotional movie which is happening. Now the chariot scene is there. Mhm. A lot of things are happening, and we are on at the edge of our chair, trying to see what's going to happen. Unfortunately, we know what is going to happen because most of us know what is going to happen next. But otherwise, in a movie, when such a scene comes, oh, what's going to happen? He's going to kill Mother Devaki, or what is going to do? Or whether Vasudeva will be successful in stopping Kamsa killing his sister. Okay. So this is the kind of mood we're all in, and the ultimate thing is we are going to wait for that moment where the eighth child of Mother Devaki will be born. Mhm. We are actually moving towards Janmashtami, Ashtami, on which the Lord was born. So we are waiting for that moment. So Sukadeva Goswami is preparing all of us, kind of cleansing our heart to invite the Lord as He descends, you know, into our heart. So these are all kind of preparation for us to uh, clean and prepare a nice place to receive the Lord in our heart. So this Sammam Bonam 10th canto is that we by 9 cantos we have gone through the cleansing process. The 10th canto, the Lord is going to descend and is going to be situated in our heart. So let's eagerly wait for this moment. Okay, I stop here with this. If you all have any questions or comments, you're most welcome. No questions? No comments? Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay, if there are no questions or comments, then we'll conclude for the day, shall I? Okay, I take it as an yes. सुंदरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरुदेव की जय, बीआई भक्तवंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, बीआई भक्तवंद की जय।
जय मधु कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
गुरु महाराज की जय।